Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're ready for a Sorare game week deadline show. But guys, it's an international friendly game week. We don't normally always do internationals and stuff, but we're getting it. We're getting friendlies covered. We've got some other stuff on the go. So me and Harry Boy, we're going to be here for a little mini international friendly stream, as it were. So yeah, thanks to everyone who's joined us. Fist bump to everyone on arrival. Don't forget at any point in the video and the stream today to smash the like button, increase your luck ahead of the game week, because Harry, we've seen it already with the last batch of friendlies that we had. DNP roulette is ferocious and takes no prisoners, it seems. But we are here for the deadline show, and I'm joined as always by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Yeah, funny one today. Got a mixture of things going on. Obviously, predominantly friendlies, like you said, but there is a few sneaky little domestic games thrown in there, which we'll obviously get.
Oh. See, this is what happens in international break. Harry has left the building. Guys, he just couldn't take it anymore. Harry Trades has joined. He's back. There we go.
What happened? I died.
I don't know.
I'm back.
You must not have liked the stream, Harry, if you're in the chat, maybe by accident.
You need to like the stream.
That's what it is.
Now.
The internet knows that you're here, and it knows if you've not hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. Of course, Harry's channels are all linked in the description down below as well. But yeah, Harry, I was just saying the DNP roulette takes no prisoners. We've seen that in the midweek.
Oh, mate, if you want to show my my disappointing showing from the midweek on screen, I had an absolute stinker. So all the outfielders kind of did their bit. And I was all down to the goalkeeper, even though he was probably third to play.
That's
Have a
tight.
look at this. Obviously, Costa didn't play, but I've got a little Bart Verbruggen in here with a load of orange and reds and greens, and yellows. And yeah, I wouldn't have won it, but I would have been very close. 81 points would have got me top 6, basically. And he was in the points cap as well. So that just, yeah, it's a tough one to take, to be honest. I bought in Seamus Coleman, £2.
Did you go mid-target on this one?
Yeah, mid-target.
Oh, it's gutting, man. 17 points off.
I know.
Seen Etienne Jr. with a 46 there against
He came
Barbados,
off
is that?
early. I can't remember. Let me see. St. Lucia. But they were 1-0 down, and then they went 1-1. He got brought off at 1-1, then they scored 2-1. Fafa scored really well, but yeah, his L15 was really low, to be fair, so he still outscored it. But yeah, just gutting because a little tier 2 and $80 wouldn't have gone amiss. Rest of the lineups were absolutely just all over the place. You just can't. Yeah, like you said, it's just so brutal trying to find out, information and guesswork and stuff. Yeah.
Horrid. I had a bit of a similar story in under 23. I was thinking this would be a 4-man team, ended up being a 3-man team. Ferran dropped it big time. Frimpong dropped it big time. And I had a really bad midweek for captain selection. Obviously, I don't know if I'd captained any of the other two, it would have made any difference really, but I captained the worst out the 3 guys with wee tape on, bringing it out. But Harry, you're going to love this. Again, I've picked the worst captain possible, but I've hit bottom target 240 with a known 4-man contingent here. Oyer Azabal's hat-trick off the bench, Ayer smashing Kosovo, and Kamada right at the end with the 70-odd points that he needed. We finished with a wee bit of a distance, which is nice. But Scales, worst captain out the team by a long way. 77 he brought in before multiplier. But yeah, so that's cool. And I think if I'd captained anyone else, I would have got a card, I think. I think that's kind of, or maybe, 347. Yeah, 10 more points.
Yeah.
And our captain change that got us into the cards probably. So I've got a wee bit of low target, which is fun. And then
take
the rest of it, just wee random things. Put the pie in the wrong team. I could have maybe had him in a 4-man effort and done something. Mm-hmm. But 240 bottom target on this one, Limer and Scales, and it was just a car crash. So yeah, a funny one. But as we come into the weekend, we've got another batch of friendlies. So the main intel for everyone in the community is who played 90 in the midweek, or who rotated, took him off the bench, who didn't play at all. And the base logic I think we're all working with is, minutes are reflected in game 2 from game 1 in some way or another. And we've also had some squad changes as well. We've had some players cut from squads and all that kind of thing as well. So if you're catching any of this news live and loud with us, if you're on Twitter or X, YouTube, Twitch, anywhere you're finding the stream today, jump into the live chat, reply to the tweet of the show or whatever with any kind of news you've got kind of breaking from around world football as we get towards the deadline. in case there's any moving parts of these squads that we want to watch out for. Some teams did name larger squads than others, so some might be releasing 2 or 3, some might release 5 or 6. A few of them confirmed their final squad in the first place. So, there's not, it's not like you're expecting a whole raft of news today, potentially, depending on what countries you've got your footprints with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a weird one. A couple of double game weeks in here as well. I think not that it really matters, maybe, but Iceland have a double game week against England and the Netherlands, which I can't imagine would be that fruitful. But yeah, some massive odds flying around if you can get the teams right.
Yeah, Belgium riding high at the top there against Luxembourg, who I think they played France in the last game, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, so tough one for Luxembourg. Good warm-up act, but for Belgium and France to be toying with anyway. And Belgium was one of these teams where I think a lot of the intel is coming out of the last match. I'll just pull that screen up, Harry, so then that's something we can flip between quite easy. Mm-hmm. But I think the consensus, I know the goalkeeper is probably the big question mark. You've actually got a team there, lovely.
Yeah, we have it on. Well, they have it on Sorare inside, but yeah, Castillo's apparently 90% on. They're saying in the notes, mine Castillo's might be in goal again, but Sells might be tested too.
Yeah.
So, I did see. Yeah, I think Theater's injured, Vertonghen's injured. So yeah, back four kind of looks quite set, I would say. Castagne playing out of position. Well, he's obviously a right back, but can obviously play left back. But yeah, top 6, all relatively. Yeah, predictable, I guess. I think Mangala didn't start the last game, so he probably comes in. Onana did start the last game, as did obviously KDB. Joku didn't, so he comes in. And Bakayoko did. So, some of these will get 45 minutes, basically. Like, that's just a fact. So it's like, guessing who does, who doesn't is a big one. Like we saw last.
Your mic's went a wee bit funny, by the way. Just I don't know if you can. Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe like a loose wire or just a wee thing, but it's just went a wee bit bubbly. Don't believe Openda trained as well. Bit of intel there, as well as from Florian, Vertonghen, Tielemans and Tiati are out. And I was just comparing the last match, and this is definitely something to note for all these teams, is even though that could be the starting 11, like a lot of these subs were 45-minute mark, so if it's a half each again, especially if it's a defensive player, it's not as interesting. But again, there wasn't as many changes. And the actual, I suppose, it's 2 of them out the back four. So we'll see how that kind of shakes out. But either way, it feels like De Bruyne is definitely out for StatPad, and he's out for getting his numbers up for Belgium. Starting this game, getting his goal, and then coming off a half-time against Montenegro. And I think when you look at playing Luxembourg, you probably think, I could get a hat-trick against them. So maybe he gets a few more minutes. Maybe he gets to 60 or 70, and then takes a chill on the bench for the remainder.
I think. The fact that these are, I think these are like the last games before the tourney. Like managers will kind of want to, pump a bit of confidence into their players. Effectively, like you don't want to be going into the tournament on low on confidence. So a little bit of stat padding won't go amiss for some of the big boys or anyone for that matter.
Yeah, I'll go and get the matchups tab if you've got. Oh, you've got it then anyway. Okay, sound. Yeah. And then we've got Spain, who I got in the Telegram chat today, thanks to, I think it was Gaza earlier on, fist bump to you, mate. Spain have made a cut to their squad. So we've lost Kubarsi, we've lost Aleix Garcia, and we've lost Marcos Llorente, it all sounds like. So this is the projected team to play Northern Ireland, I think, isn't it? So that looks pretty strong. I do think, but I think that Oyarzabal could start this one over Morata, just the way. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. But just for that whole kind of principle we were talking about in terms of who started and finished the game and what minutes they came off in, I could see. But again, it might go with consistency and start with Morata and sub Oyarzabal on. But
a couple of these didn't play at all in that last game. Like Rodrigo wasn't. Yamal didn't play. Nico Williams didn't play. Did Morata even get off the bench?
Morata started.
Did he? Okay, fair enough.
He got a goal disallowed for offside or something, right. So he was like in amongst it. I thought I only watched the extended highlights, but I thought Aleix was amazing in it. I know it was against who were they playing? Andorra. So I know it's like a training match at best, but Aleix was zipping about the pitch, like it was really, and Pedri looked brilliant as well. And I thought some of the passing that Ferman was playing was incredible. So It'll be really interesting to see how Spain actually shake out a best 11 once the tournament comes. But yeah, a lot of changes in this team. Lamal, Olmo, Marino, Rodri. So most in the turn, Nico Williams. Like that is a whole new engine room altogether, isn't it?
Literally, yeah. And that's just credit to the strength obviously they've got. And yeah, another on paper good fixture for them. Northern Ireland at home. 85% win percentage, which is very much up there with that Belgium fixture. And then we get brought on to England, who play today, I believe,
against Iceland.
Yeah.
Now this is a bit of I don't know if you'd call it a derby. This has got a bit of bad blood in it. This fixture, over the years. Yeah, there's a wee bit of something going on here, So England, hey, I don't know if they've ever looked as good, quite frankly, on paper, like balance. Fair enough, there's not a left-footed left back, right, whatever. But quality and just overall hunger, ambition is just through the roof. I think with this team, it's going to be. You can't imagine them taking a game lightly, and with the quality of Foden, Palmer, Saka, Kane, how do they not score 3 or 4 goals against most people?
I know. To be fair though, I watched that Bosnia game a few days ago, and they didn't have Rice out, Saka didn't play, but there was still obviously tons of quality. No Foden, but they not struggle, but they only scored one goal, wasn't it, in the end, and it was a penalty from Palmer. So these are training exercises at the end of the day. But like you said, you'd like to think they can score a couple against Iceland, despite it being obviously a friendly. But yeah, a couple of the Rice coming back in, Saka, Foden. Did Kane didn't start last game, I don't think. So
no, he did. DNP'd, I think. Or maybe get 18 minutes or something. He
get a couple minutes, didn't he, off the bench? But yeah, the trophy is the trophy. I was just looking at what Hendo was saying there. England's defense isn't trophy winning, let's put it that way. And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, fair.
Mini-me, I turned off after 1-0. So yeah, I couldn't even tell you what the score was after that. All I saw was Palmer scored a pen. And that was enough for me to send me to sleep.
Yeah. I've not watched that. Have I watched any of them? No, just that Spain. Just I wanted to watch Spain for my cards. That was all. So I just watched the little 7-minute package or whatever it was. And Kane's confirmed to start, so that's good to hear for anyone that's got the Kane cards out there. And I do agree that the England defence, if you actually just look at it on paper, Stones, Guy, Walker, Trippier, it's not Ferdinand, Terry, etc. Ashley Cole and whatever. But for majority of teams that are going to play, that's going to be more than good enough to be in a match. Pickford for me is the biggest question mark over it, but he's been somewhat ever present in that team. So hey ho. And the question about Walker, I think so. I don't see Trent, and I know Trent. I heard the radio talking about this as well. But Trent obviously played a bit of right back later on in the game when he did some substitutions or whatever. But I don't think that Southgate has ever started Trent at right back really, for ages. He's dropped him out of squads because of his preference of Reece James and Walker and stuff like that. So I think it's Walker, Konsa, depending on how Stones maybe figures in, because Stones maybe plays right back but walks into midfield, that kind of thing, or whatever. So I don't think Trent is that likely. I think Walker's pretty nailed. That's just my opinion.
Trent plays this midfield, you're playing Seth Gallagher. It depends on the game. If they need legs, Gallagher plays. If they're going to dominate possession, which they will in most games, then Trent will probably start. Yeah, that's kind of it, I think.
So this should be a really good game for England as well, but because it is warm up for the tournament, the squad's look at it. You've got literally everything there you want, from set piece takers to versatile defenders, box to box midfield, and then I say the attacks is just top tier, isn't it? So yeah, should be a good game week for them. That's pretty much all I can say. Bench will be handy, but as well, so for those all 3 of those teams, getting a starter isn't as crucial as much as just getting significant minutes in these matches. Because England maybe only score 2 to 4 goals. Spain are probably going to score 3 to 5 goals, and Belgium are going to score 4 or more. If you know what I mean. So it's what fixture you're involved in, and as long as your guys play, it's just what time of the match they come on at. Because as we've seen with some of these games, the goals come in bunches. It might be the first half, second half, but it's always tends to be in little kind of clusters. You get a flurry of them. And then we come on to Netherlands, who are also playing Iceland. So not a good game week to see your Iceland card with a double game week. You're like, oh, cool, brilliant. I don't need to worry about some of this stuff. Hold on a minute, maybe. Maybe we do.
I don't know if we have prediction. Well, I keep saying we. I don't know if they have predictions. Oh yeah, we do. Well, they do.
So the Pie started the first game, which caused a lot of problems for Sorare teams that didn't have Memphis locked in. I was doing lineup builders last night. Seeing Ake starting a game like this, he just scores like 140 points in a game like this, doesn't he?
Yeah, quite comfortably. Van Dijk came off the bench, I think, yesterday. Got himself a goal. Joey Veerman might have come off the bench yesterday. It was either that or he definitely didn't start. So yeah, this is definitely a different team from yesterday, which obviously makes sense. I think Blind played yesterday.
Yeah.
Frimpong obviously played. So it looks like Dumfries maybe comes in for this one. Gakpo didn't play either, so yeah, he probably is quite nailed for this one. And like you said, Depay probably retains his number 9 spot. I think this is very close to what the actual team's going to be, I think. Maybe Frimpong instead of Xavi Simons, or even, Frimpong at right back, but I don't know. Obviously, he can play as a winger as well, so as we saw yesterday. Trying to think who else could play in that midfield. I'm forgetting. Who played yesterday for the Dutch? Have a little look now.
Shooting.
Wijnaldum. Yeah.
Gravenberch.
Maybe Wijnaldum. Yeah. Wijnaldum probably could start, like in the actual first game.
Yeah, like him and Depay have not played many minutes this year, so they're kind of like fresh players. They don't really need to worry about overloading them or anything like that to an extent. I think Wijnaldum did get an injury when he went to the Middle East, so I don't think he's completely in the same in the same kind of vein, but close enough.
Yeah.
I'm just putting Depay into a team for me now.
So I don't think this is too dissimilar to what the actual team will be, Maybe Wijnaldum for Koopmeiners. I can't see him starting Koopmeiners and Joey Veerman together. That doesn't really make, I don't know. Yeah, it just feels like a lack of legs there to me. Not that Wijnaldum's like young again, but
I think that's where you've got Ake and Dumfries and all that in for, isn't it? Is a wee bit of that, recovery. Is that, depending on how you're thinking about it, sorry, but like you just got those guys to get on the ball and zip it forward. Dominate the Dutch way, 4-3-3.
Like against France. Yeah, against France, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like a Veerman Koopmeiners start for me. You're probably going to want maybe even a Gravenberch or something. Bit more legs, but good fixture. Hopefully they can bring home the thresholds. And I mean, there's only a couple of places you can play your cards this weekend, Quinny, isn't there? So
yeah, only like 3-4 teams everyone's getting out, which is just
literally,
which is great. A little bit frustrating. Makes decisions quite difficult as well for who makes it and who doesn't.
Table. Yeah, off the table. Sorry. International playing a Sudamericana game. For all those that are interested in that one, Germany at home to Greece. I do believe we have a predicted 11 for these. Maybe we don't, and maybe we don't, which is not ideal. Who played the last game? Let's have a look. It'll probably be your Wirtz, Musiala, Havertz. I don't think they go much different to this, if I'm being honest. I think the front four picks itself. Maybe Muller somewhere, but I don't think so. I think it'll be very similar to this,
I can maybe see Undav starting, because I think he's been getting a good kind of write-up over the last couple of weeks, just being in the camp and all that stuff, So he's a wee bit different to Havertz and stuff. There's no Werner in the squad. Muller's past his best. That Maxi Bayer as well could be in with a wee chance of getting the start. He's, again, a guy with a kind of rising reputation. But I don't think there's too much room for manoeuvre. I think in defence, the only change I would see, or I don't know, actually seen Anton in there, but I think both the centre-backs could change. I think it could be Schlotterbeck, Rudiger, or something like that quite easily.
Fair, yes. I forgot about the Real Madrid. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, yeah, Kroos probably comes in to midfield, doesn't he?
For Gross.
Yeah. Kroos for Gross, maybe. I think that could be, Kroos and Rudiger probably definitely come in. Like you said, Schlotterbeck as well. I mean, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Schlotterbeck played in obviously final as well, didn't he? So yeah, that makes sense. Maybe 2 defensive changes, probably Cruz, and then maybe the forward. For them, Italy at home to Bosnia. I don't think they have predictions. Oh yeah, we do. That's fun.
Raspadori.
Have you seen the Donnarumma news or the PSG news that nobody's number one basically? Like goalkeeper, it's all up in the air. Like Tenas, Donnarumma, and what's his name?
Safanov.
Yeah. It's just
So
a round
Tenas is
robin.
staying?
Well, from what it said, they're all on level playing fields from what I heard. But yeah, I don't know whether that means he definitely stays. I can't see them keeping all 3, can they? Like, can they
That's
really
surely that they definitely want to sell Donnarumma. Like, there's just no two ways about it. Yeah, there's just no 2 ways about it. How can you sign Safanov and like Tenas and even with I just think they want to sell him. I think they've had their time with him. Where does he go? Like Newcastle?
Would they spend how much is he going to go for? It'd be stupid money, wouldn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Unless he just goes to Saudi and just says fuck it.
Perish the thought.
Al-Sharawi, Jorginho, Bellanova. It's a nice team. Did you see what's his name? Did his ACL, didn't he? Scalvini.
Yeah.
So
seen that. Big miss for Italy.
Yeah. Scamac up front. I don't know much about this guy. Follow-run-show?
Yeah, that's not a guy I'm familiar with. Quite a weak Italy team. El Shaarawy on the right wing as well. Like that's just
a throwback, isn't it? Jesus.
It's just taking the piss. That Buongiorno is a kind of right winger guy as well. So that might be actually a bit of overkill from Italy. They're kind of just playing then because Calafiore will be left Gatti in the middle, Buongiorno on the right, and then Buongiorno will be doing that kind of I'm actually a right back, kind of gig in the back three, And
El Shaarawy's not a wing back. He's very much a winger. It's a weird Italy team.
They're good for the kill. Yeah.
And then there's a bit of a drop off then. So that's 71% win percentage, and we're into the 60s. So Nigeria 62, Russia against Belarus. I think they're the first game today, I believe, from the matchups tab. Do we have Brazil predicted 11s? I did. If we don't, I can. So on Twitter, I followed this Brazilian football page, and
nice.
Have you seen this? They've all been given the new numbers. Rodrigo's nicked the 10 off Neymar.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is the expected 11. This had changed. So this wasn't Vinny and Rodrigo up front. This was somebody else the day before, but this was like the last training 11 that they did yesterday. Again, they might train today and it changed, but this is what they kind of went with. Douglas Luiz was in, so Bruno's sort of come into this fold. Paqueta, I've heard he's going to get a yellow, so get on him.
That's strong, isn't it, man?
Yeah.
How'd you get Mbappe into that team, but?
You just got, give him and Hendrick half each. But yeah, it's a good team. Militao back in, João Gomez, Bruno, Paqueta's pretty fun.
Yeah. João Gomez. See, I was doing a lineup builder last night, and I seen he was projected to start. I was like, no way. He's had a good year for Wolves, but like,
yeah, hasn't he?
I don't think he's better than Douglas Luiz. And if you put Bruno into that job,
he's not, is he? But like, I don't know. He just buzzes around, and he's just everywhere. I think you need a bit of like him and Paqueta being that sort of 8 and sort of 10-ish role, or 2-8s maybe. Where Luiz obviously likes to sit, doesn't he? Really, so for the most part. So like, it's probably him or Bruno. I can kind of see the logic there, but yeah, he has had a good year. But I agree. Obviously, Luiz has probably been a lot better. But yeah, Wendell getting his start at left back, which is pretty fun. Had a good year at Porto.
Yeah. Not a great SO5 card that often, is he? He's kind of a bit of a.
He was unbelievable at the start. Like actually, like stupidly good. Because he could just kind of walk to like 40 AA quite comfortably. Mexico got battered by Uruguay a couple of days ago, and I mean like it was like 4-0. And I think Darwin scored 3, so that just shows you he hasn't been able to score in a brothel. So yeah, so that's a fun one. 60% win percentage. And then Argentina at home to Ecuador. I think Messi, Enzo, most of the boys, Otamendi, the usual mob are predicted to start for that one. I don't think we have predictions on that inside. Hungary at home to Israel. Hungary losing to Republic of Ireland. It's a little bit of a shock. I think they had a 15 win streak or 15 unbeaten streak going into this. Yeah, that was quite disappointing for them. Union Espanola. I don't know if my boy Vecino, can play. I think he came off injured, so I won't be loading him up. Gremio playing the Libertadores, little random one. And then your boys. Do we have predicted 11s? Don't think we do. Okay. We can go off last game. So yeah, this is what you went with last game. Do you foresee anything massively changing here?
Yeah, well, I only noticed this last night through a group chat. Somebody pointed out, but McCrory played the 90 minutes in this one, and people think there's a good chance Ralston is going to get the same treatment in this game. Okay. Outside of that, I think McGinn and Christie can't really be interchanged with anyone, but I think we'll probably see a back three come back, and Tierney will start alongside Porteous, and then whoever he wants to put in the middle of the two of them, whether it be McKenna or Hanley. I'd probably say it's going to be Hanley, but I think he'll kind of shape out that way. It's hard to say, because McGinn and Christie did play 90, so there's a good logic to say maybe they just sit the game all together, but I don't think we've quite get... I know Lewis Morgan's just flown into the building and whatever, but I don't think they can be quite as interchanged out as some of these other players. So I think Gilmore won't start, probably McGregor and McLean, McTominay, that. I think he'll probably go a bit stronger because Finland aren't Gibraltar. Finland are not too far below Scotland standings wise and quality of player wise and whatever. So I think this is definitely tournament warm up time, whereas Gibraltar is maybe a bit more of an exercise, playing McCrory, playing Xander Clark, playing Kenny McLean, Shankland, Forrest. Maybe these are the guys that you just give the tune up to. And then let's say we get more of a first team effort for Finland.
That makes sense. Does Liam Cooper start?
Nah.
No.
Don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it.
But yeah, they got to get Tierney in there somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah. Tierney can't play twice a week. That's his only problem, So
right.
He's still edgy to call, to be honest.
Shea Adams in for Shankland, or?
Yeah, I think so. Shea Adams starts.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Portugal at home to Croatia. Again, we have Croatia lineups, which I guess we could show, but yeah, no Portuguese lineup. So this is the Croatia lineup. If anyone's concerned, Guardiola at 90%. I'm sure you'll be happy to see that.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Modric back in, Perisic, Petrovic, and Lavoro Mijar. Kovacic back in, Brozovic. Yeah, the usual mob for Croatia. Kramaric maybe gets rested here, it feels like. And then, Portugal. I mean, Costa didn't play the last game. I'd be shocked if he doesn't come in this one. In goal, doesn't come into this one, sorry. I think Leao played the last one, so I'm going to assume maybe Felix comes in.
Yep.
I think Diaz probably still plays, and then maybe Inacio comes in. It's basically Inacio, Pepe, or Silva to play in that that right centre half role or the other centre half role. Dalot probably starts maybe instead of Cancelo moves to left back, Dalot right back maybe potentially. Bruno's probably got to start this one, even though he did 45 last game. I think Felix probably starts on the wing. Is Ronaldo with them now? I'm going to guess he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's in the building. I think Jota is a player that they always want to keep in their team for the most part. Especially if they've got Ronaldo, because Jota can carry a bit of that water,
Mm-hmm.
And Leao, Leao's got good energy and all the rest of it, but he's not that same kind of nippy, kind of front foot kind of pressing forward, if you know what I mean. So I think Jota is a good shout for Portugal. He normally is a decent one. That Francesco Conceição, he's been on some
So
mad
good.
form, hasn't he?
They just signed him again. Porto re-signed him from Ajax, 10 mil. Obviously, they sold him to Ajax. He didn't play a game. It didn't feel like, and then he's obviously gone back. But I've seen Bayern interested. He's so sharp. He's so quick and agile and stuff. Yeah, he's really, really sharp. I don't know whether I don't think he'll start, if I'm being honest. But I do think he has a really good chance of featuring in most games just because he is so deadly.
Yeah. So, and who did Portugal play? Sorry, I kind of missed that. Just being between pages and stuff with Scotland.
They play Croatia.
Hendry, of course. I was thinking who's in the middle. I think Hendry comes in the middle for Scotland. Hendry, Porteous, Tierney. It's my team anyway. But
yeah. That's Portugal. Then we kind of move into MLS side of things. Shout out to Sorare, who I hoping still in the chat. I saw you were in here earlier, mate. For all his MLS work. But it looks like we do have predictions for most, if not all, of the MLS games. So we can have a little butchers at these. Dallas away to Minnesota, who are missing a lot of boys out on international duty. I don't think Dallas are really missing too much. Martin Pais would have been playing for Indonesia if his passport was in, but it wasn't, so he stays. Everything else looks pretty settled, apart from maybe this right wing spot. Ariola, Kamungo, and Leggett there's a little trio for that position. But Ferreira looks a bit more nailed on than he has been recently. This is the Minnesota side, sorry. Caden Clark back in. Fun. Okay. Clint Irwin is an L15-0 this weekend, so he'll be utilised where possible. But
so there's Joel here. Sabitza's out if anyone's after it.
Again for Austria. Interesting. We're missing a few players here, aren't we? So goalie Rosales with Honduras, Valentin, Harvey, Arriaga, Bran, Lod, of course, Pookie, Olawasi with Canada. So weakened team. So at home, but I don't think it's that good of a game realistically without some of those big boys not playing. And then let's get St. Louis up, who play at home to somebody. Let's have a look against the Timbers. Lowen at 50-50, according to D. Klaus at 90. Pompeo and Vasilev pretty nailed. Vasilev 60. Durkin 90. Yeah, pretty settled side for St. Louis. Not missing many players. And then they play Portland, who we do have predictions for. Evander season.
Evander, Santi Moreno, Christian Paredes. All pretty good scorers there. Pantamison as well. Yeah,
because Krapau's away with Canada. They're not missing a ton of players, to be fair. Watch out on this. Mora was subbed off with a hamstring tightness last match, but it was precautionary. So keep an eye on. Can you keep an eye on that? Sorry, David Ayala's at 80%. That's fun. He's a talented kid, but that's what's going on there. We can just I'm just trying to we'll do the rest of the MLS games quite quickly. So I think Seattle play away to
Kansas
City. So this is Seattle's lineup. Relatively the same as what we see most weeks for them. Alex Roldan didn't go away with whoever he plays for, El Salvador, I think, normally.
Yep.
Cody Baker comes in at left back, actually. So, I guess Tolo's away with Cameroon. So he's probably the only big miss. De La Vega feels like he's been injured all season. He's been teasing us, hasn't he? So, the rest of the lineup looks, pretty settled. Tough game to call. All these games, to be honest. Kansas City are going through a weird spell where they're not playing their best players. And the coach looks like he's trying to self-sabotage a little bit. But JFR hopefully gets back in. I think he came off the bench with a goal last game, Pulido, Shaloy. But last game, he didn't start any of them. So, a few tough calls there. Pulse Camp has been in the Olympic training. So, Melia's nailed it, looks like. Eric Tommy was training Thursday, but might be too quick to start. Could see him off the bench. Nice news. Nice intel. It's really tough to call any of the MLS games, honestly. Like, they're all relatively, quite equal in, Well, I guess, Red Bulls Revs is an interesting one, but Red Bulls are without so many players. It's probably the first game all season where I would say New England are probably slight favourites for me, just because of the amount of players the Red Bulls are missing, and they play at home. Carlos Hill and co there against the Red Bulls, who, I mean, they've still got a decent team out. Like, they're obviously missing Forsberg, Morgan. They're missing the centre half. What's his name? Noah Eli or Eli. This guy.
And Tolkien.
Yeah, and of course Tolkien. Yeah, so 4 massive players for them, and the
Cornell.
keeper, 5 technically. Mira to start. So I mean, it's definitely weakened, but there's still goals in that team. Vanazia, Manuel, Carmona's half decent. Still got their middle 2. So they're obviously missing some massive pieces, but I still think, I don't know. I think it'll be tight, but if I had to say, I think the Revs just slightly win that game.
Yeah, that's one they should get points in, you'd think,
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But that's about it, I think, for the MLS, to be honest. Wales plays Slovakia, if anyone wants to play Wales players after their impressive draw against Gibraltar yesterday.
Charge on.
To be fair, we did play a very, very weak side. We played 2 goalkeepers that aren't starters, which doesn't really mean too much. But none of these players would normally play. Literally, not one of them. Charlie Savage, obviously Robbie Savage's son. Josh Sheehan captained us. First time he's ever started for us, and he's 29. If that tells you anything you need to know about the team. Ruben Colwell, like, we got good youngsters. Matondo was rubbish apparently. I'm not shocked. I don't think Jay Da Silva's ever started for us since changing nationality. Finn Stevens, I don't even know who he plays for. Couldn't even tell you Joseph Lowe plays for. But they did bring on a few of the big boys up. 60th didn't mean anything though.
Young Kumas.
Yeah, baby Kumas. If anyone remembers Jason Kumas, and you'll know.
Free kicks, long shots.
Player. Yeah. Lewis Kumas. Jason was there to watch his son make his debut, which was nice.
Kumas and Savage, back in the Wales team.
Kumas and Savage, yeah. This kid's the boy though. This is Stish's boy, Stish's mate's boy.
Oh, nice.
Charlie Crew from Leeds. He's the next big thing for Wales. But the team will completely change.
Didn't the Leeds was at Wales?
It wasn't, but they stole him from Cardiff. He's actually he's a Cardiff boy. Mikey Baston made a bit of dough on the Wales game yesterday. I think he backed the Gibraltar draw, I think.
Wow.
After seeing the team news. Luke Williams, super Jason Kumas. What a player for Cardiff, watching him growing up. Jesus, that was the time. But completely different team. Mepham comes back in, Dan James comes in, Kiefer Moore, Brennan. The majority of the boys that are there that do have cards will play. Still all professional footballers. Yeah, but 19-year-olds. And
do we have a Sweden team? As I say,
it is tough. I don't know if we do on. We don't. I don't think we do on Sorare inside, to be honest.
I think McGinn could be good in this game. It's a good game for AA. If he starts, he's decisive, capable as well. So I think it's a good one for him. To answer the question we've got here as well.
You should have seen though, Rob Page, our manager, his interview yesterday was so awkward. Like, I think he's on his way out. Ben Davis was like questionable. Like, he didn't leave the squad. I'll be honest, I don't know if he's going to play or not. If he's fit, he plays, but I just don't know if he's fit. So, yeah.
Do we think Lindelof will start?
Did he play the last game?
That's what I'm going to check.
I'll have a look now.
It's Lindelof his best 11 for them,
Yeah, he definitely starts if he's
I've already kind of got it, Harry. I've tried to be useful today.
I've got it here, to be fair. He played 45.
Who was on the bench? Starfelt.
Ekdal as well. He's a centre-half from Burnley.
I thought he was a centre mid. Fair enough.
No, centre-half. Defender.
Yeah, tough. I think Lindelof is their main defender, isn't he? So I know they've not got anything really to play for Sweden. That's the only hard part about it.
Yeah, very much just a a Scandi derby, isn't it? Or another one.
Ryan, we did the Portugal team. If you slide back, you'll be able to find it, mate. It's maybe about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Maybe. And you can't you can't just do predictions on Sorare Insider. Like, I think you have to kind of be asked to do it, or you can't just input lineups or input predicted 11s.
Mepham as well. Do you think he'll play for Wales? He's been linked to Celtic today.
Yeah, he was pictured eating a banana on the pitch before the game. So like, he's fit and stuff. He just wasn't in the squad. Like, they just didn't bother playing him at all. Obviously, giving the youngsters a go. I mean, he got bought for 13 mil, I think, from to Bournemouth. Not that means he's worth it, but like, yeah, they pay big money for him. 100
off the bench, Harry, in 29 minutes. Have you ever heard of such black magic?
That is very impressive. That's the Sporting guy, isn't it?
6 tackles, 1. 29 minutes.
He was just everywhere.
4 duels positive, 36 passes isn't that crazy, but it all adds up. A couple of balls into the box. Obviously, his assist and a LMT. Fuck, GG's to you, big man.
Yeah, very impressive.
And Ekdal got stretchered off, apparently. So I think that probably increases your chances, because Starfelt's barely kicked a ball this year, and Isaac Hine has done well for Atalanta, but I don't think he's been ever present. I don't think he's played like every game.
He played in the final, I think.
Yeah, he's played a lot. There's a lot of bench appearances. Like, there's not a lot of... They do rotate. They have rotated this season, yeah. A lot of wee bits off the bench and stuff. So I think Hine's probably fine. Get 90 minutes last time. I don't know. I think Lindelof is the strongest defender there, if you were to ask me. Yeah. Him and Kraft, like they're maybe even not Kraft, but yeah, I would be quite. Sorry, I've not got the right page on, but I would be quite happy with the risk of that for what it is. That is a friendly, really, and they could play a whole different team, really, in theory,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're going down to the 40%ers now. Go on. Nah, you will.
I cannot see that. But
I see us predicted 11, and yeah, I think he plays. Be very shocked if he didn't. If like Messi and Co is going to play, Emmy will play.
Is there an America prediction? I'm just trying to think of what else we need to touch on, because let's say this is only a mini deadline show, because there isn't that much to get through, and we don't want to be sitting here for 2 hours with nothing to talk about. So we're just trying to rattle through everything as timely as we possibly can.
Yeah, a couple of these. Denmark predicted 11, all 60%ers, because it's just going to be really tough to get it right, I guess. Yeah, this Malagon goal, I think he had a bit of discomfort or something, so he's now 50-50. Peru, Galicia in goal. Callens, your boy.
Oh, Callens is in. That's good. I might need to swap that. That's good. Callens is in.
Crispy, Andy Polo.
No, I'm not anywhere to play him. Ignore me.
Turkey. It's the last predicted 11 they have on Sorare Inside. If it wants to load. Arda Güler, 60% on.
Turkey have got a team, don't they?
Some talent in there. Semi on the bench, I think.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper's a bit up in the air, I think. I think Di Maria was in the 11, Andy. I do think he was.
His last man tackle was crazy. I'm going to go check that out. He's done something mad. Bomb down the side of the pitch.
But US played Colombia. Matt Turner, probably Miles Robinson, Anton Robinson, Tim Ream the Dream. Right back. Who would play right back?
Reynolds? Or I don't know who's in the squad, sorry, but...
Potentially, I can't remember if he's in the squad. It definitely won't be as weak as that. It'll be like, McKennie, what's his name? Tyler Adams and somebody else in midfield, and then Pulisic, Weah. I'll be Musa in midfield with them too, I think. And then, Pulisic. I don't know who will start up front. Will it be Sargent? Would it be Haji Wright if he's in the squad? I'm trying to think. Have you looked at South Korea? I don't think we have South Korea predicted 11s, Glenn, to be fair. I don't know whether they might not have any odds, actually. That might be why.
Yeah, they're playing China after battering somebody 7-0.
We have a load of so like Japan doesn't have odds against Syria, which is obviously a smash waiting to happen. Australia play Palestine, Indonesia play Philippines. Korea Republic play China, Honduras play Bermuda, Curacao play Aruba. Jesus Christ.
Honduras, Bermuda, by the way. Luis Palma is a bit of a cheat code this week. His L15's like 43, and he's like a set piece guy. So playing a wee team like Bermuda. Aye. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played last night. My boy.
Was that game covered?
Off the bench.
I don't know if I used him.
Yeah, it was covered, I think.
Oh, no way. I don't think I knew that. I think I picked my teams before that showed. Because I'd have put him in under 23 over... That's a nightmare. I'd have won something. Bastard. 80 as well. Jesus. Mm-hmm. So Palma's on it.
Australia stacks as well. Haiti stacks as well. I know Andy's a big Haiti fan. Interesting. Yeah, he wasn't in the squad, was he? Northern Sports Cards. Balogun up top. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, okay. He's gone off the boil, man. Jesus Christ, he fell off a cliff, didn't he?
I think Alvarez starts as well, just to add on to that. Who's went off a cliff, sorry, Harry?
Balogun. Remember he missed like 10 pens in a row?
Yeah.
And he's like he haven't scored since. Herrera got injured. No way. That's annoying. Because, he DNP'd midweek. Interesting.
Excellent.
Okay, yeah. Jamaica played Dominican.
Jamaica have got some cards. Jamaica have got. I've got a defender there. Mikel Antonio, Shamar Nicholson. There's a wee bit of fun in this team. Yeah. Cordova Reed, whatever you say.
Yeah. Bobby. Yeah, a few fun players there.
That is the entire game week, guys. Very slim pickings. Yeah. Harry, do you want to show us some of your teams and then we'll get out of here?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I'm avoiding All-Star just because, I just feel like it's a bloodbath everywhere, but more so maybe their 4-man effort in 240, hopefully. Get a start out of Yuito Suzuki. Aiming for the Quinny lower threshold. Hopefully we can replicate what you did there. 240 rare, I'm going with the Haiti boys again. Away in Barbados. Portuguese defensive stack. Hopefully Diaz doesn't get dragged at halftime. And then Giroud up front, L15 or 40 against the Canadians. 270. Bit of Seattle, Brazil. That's a nice little combination, isn't it? Seattle Sounders and the Brazilian national side, alongside little old Welsh goalkeeper Danny Ward. And then, which could have gone into All-Star, but then, main team is under 23, which looks like this. I brought in this Rosas for Sporting Gijón because I didn't have a defender. And then, double forward. I'm risking it with Szoboszlai. I could go Enzo and play it, quote-unquote, safe, but I feel like that a Hungary fixture is a bit better. Well, a lot better, maybe. Because I know Israel aren't playing like their best side. So, really hoping Szoboszlai starts, basically. That's the extent of my game week, Quinny. 4 teams.
That's exciting, mate. Mine isn't too dissimilar. My other 23s, I've got Palmatake, Kang, Guardiola, probably a DNP Tanny, but maybe not. So that's like a big fingers crossed effort. I actually think might change my captain to Palma right before we close this one out.
Get him in.
Yeah, just Taki might not be 90 minutes or whatever. I threw that. This is basically a training team. This is kind of best of the rest. Again, no real idea if Tanaka will play or not, but I put him in because that's just kind of how Japan roll. Normally, they rotate quite mad. We're going for bottom target in 240 super with the Scotland stack with Captain Oyarzabal in attack. And rumour is that both the backup keepers for Poland are going to get minutes in this fixture. So I'm expecting 45 minutes for Skorupski, which is not a clean sheet bonus, sadly, but it's at least a 35 pointer, So I'm still going bottom target because I don't know if that, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still going bottom target. I don't think the team's good enough to really push far ahead of that. Because Finland, Scotland, if they score more than 2 goals in that game, I'll be surprised. It'll be like a 2-0, 2-1 win is what I think. And then I'm getting a bit of a 4-man effort in 220. Yeah, again, just throwing some guys out that will probably play, could do well, and just swinging for it. And then I'm going mid target for 240. Vasil just playing Italy. Hopefully isn't quite as bad as playing England. Tavon, we just spoke about the Jamaica game. Limer started on the bench in the last game, so I hope he starts. We've just seen Wirtz, we've just seen Musiala. We reckon those guys are on to start. And then in 220, I've got a little Scotland pair here, as my battery in the camera dies, with Angus Gunn, Anthony Ralston at the back, with Ferran Torres in midfield, double attack of Becker and Maeda. So fingers crossed. And that is literally all she wrote. Guys, let me just change the camera around so I'm not being rude. But yeah, I think that's a bit of a sign. Isn't it, Harry?
I think it is, mate. Yeah, I think it's not too much we can really do, really. Like, very small game week. Not many places to play cards either, which makes it even more frustrating. It would be nice if we could have maybe two all-star teams potentially. I know that's been a thing in the midweek, but I think for these type of weekends, they could have just thrown on another all-star team for us. I think just for the sake of it, right? It's better than throwing it into a training. But there's some fun to be had. But still just very condensed. It feels like.
Yeah. But it's a good dice roller. If you do win something, whether it has a bottom threshold or a wee tier 4, it's always just like, good. Yeah. That wasn't, wasn't really factoring that into my year. Yeah, there's always a nice wee Brucey bonus one. And it's that nice wee kind of halfway house we have of like, it's kind of like a wee weekend off SO5, but you can check your phone sometimes. It's like, oh, brilliant. Somebody scored, or the guys in the team, you still get a little bit of that. And Harry, I think probably last word, we've had a few questions, but we're getting another one here from Tony, Tony knows his onions. And again, Chris Mepham linked to Celtic. Do you give that as a good move or a bad move for Celtic, first of all, then for Mepham?
Yeah, I think it is a good move. I was talking to you before we went live. I think he's probably just below Premier League level, but probably too good to play. Not too good, but he can easily play he's a very high-end championship player. So I think a move to Celtic, obviously playing Champions League football and stuff is a step up in some ways for those, obviously, midweek games in that sense. But he's a good player, wicked on the ball, like really good on the ball, very calm, tall, just really laid back. I was telling you, he's not somebody that's really aggressive. He's not going to be getting the crowd going in any way. He's very mellow, a very calm guy. But wicked. He's a Brendan Rodgers centre half in that sense, right? Ball playing for days, very, very good passing range. But like I said to you, does he come in and just walk in? I don't think he does. He's not twice as good as CCV or anything. It's not that obvious, and he's not left-footed, so he's not he's not Scales. So I don't know. Does he come in as the third centre back potentially? But if you're spending 8 million on him, surely you want him to come in and start, wouldn't you? Or however much is predicted to get him for. But I think it's a good move for him. He definitely needs to leave Bournemouth. He's not going to get in ahead of Zabanier and Senesi, it looks like. So I think it feels like a Celtic type of buy in that sense, in a good way. I rate him. I don't love him. If you're giving me him or Roden, Roden's more aggressive, right? He's gonna play for the club, where Mepham's just very mellow, laid back, and a very, very good ball playing centre half, I would say.
Yeah. Cheers for the intel, Harry. I love it. Good luck to everyone this game week. Our weekend, Scotland are playing tonight, so we won't need to wait long to see how they shake out. And we do have the start of internationals and rivals and all that good stuff. So next week on the deadline show, we'll be getting stuck right into a lot of private leagues and lots of other stuff that's going on as well. And be sure to catch all the content, on my channel and on Harry's about all the developments and all this stuff. I've seen Harry had an Essence video pop out earlier today as well. So thanks to everyone that's joined the show. Good luck again this game week, and we'll catch you next week. Take care. You can say bye as well, Harry.
Oh, fine.
Satara.